Members of the Senate are tomorrow expected to take a vote on the controversial amendments on the electoral laws during an acrimonious session in the National Assembly. Senators will first debate a report by the Legal Affairs and Human Rights Committee that has been collecting views from Kenyans on whether the laws should be amended or not before taking that crucial vote. And as Chris Thairu reports, mediation process will be inevitable given that the committee has proposed some amendments.
Overruled.
Focus now shifts to senators as they resume debate on the hotly contested amendments to the electoral laws that ended in acrimony in the National Assembly. Members of the Amos Wako-led committee that has been receiving submissions from the public were for the better part of the day rushing up and down to compile the report that will form the basis of the debate in the Senate. The committee received submissions from different stakeholders regarding the controversial amendments that provides for manual identification and transmission of results in the event technology fails.
We're at war with Al-Shabaab, and they could find ways of jamming and blocking our whole electronic systems, hacking into our systems. As a country, we cannot be held hostage. We need to have a backup and an alternative that allows us to be able to continue with the elections.
So you should be telling us, other than elections, we have M-Pesa that is running an economy of trillions of shillings. Why hasn't Al-Shabaab interfered with the M-Pesa system?
The IEBC emphasized the importance of resolving the issues raised through a bipartisan approach. Now, the bill is before the Senate, and the IEBC calls for the same bipartisan spirit.
During the submissions, governors, media owners and business leaders differed with Attorney General Professor Githu Muigai on whether the country should have a fallback plan in voter identification and transmission of results in case the electronic transmission fails.
Identification on arrival is where we have a problem. And then the question is transmission. Must you carry the Form 16A and change it 3 times before it arrives at KICC? Physically. It can be transmitted through the satellite gadgets.
How do we count the vote? We have no machine for counting the vote. It's a manual process. We empty the debe and we count. If we emphasize the electronic, we will be ignoring the reality of what happens on the day we vote.
The manual system has been abused, so we have cured the manual system. The mere act of voting being manual means that the entire process is both manual and electronic.
However, sources within the Legal Affairs Committee chaired by Busia Senator Amos Wako intimated to KTN News that as it stands, a mediation will be inevitable. According to sources, the senators have resolved to amend some of the clauses that were amended by the National Assembly during the acrimonious session that saw the opposition legislators storm out of the chambers. If senators agree to amend the electoral laws contrary to the National Assembly, then both houses will be forced to go for a mediation and seek a middle ground on the issue. But if they pass a vote that the laws should remain as they were changed by the National Assembly, then the opposition will be heading back to the streets in protest. Chris Thairu, KTN News.